Friday. Today's Friday, November 15th. This is Ghost Ted, because that's what I look like in the frame there. Ted Bogert with the TED Show. Super excited to have Kia Wells and Lamonte Gwynn on the show today. They brought their t-shirts, their crown, they got a crown. I mean, we got lots of props. So we are LinkedIn Live, we are Facebook Live. Derek hopefully is going to message me if we are not live. It says I'm live in the corner. Yep. So we're playing with this wonderful platform, LinkedIn Live, via social live. And so if you guys could be patient with us, Lamont and Kia said that they wouldn't mind being guinea pigs today, so we're going to go with the flow. So welcome to the show. Thank you for driving over. Thank you for rescheduling. I know we had some scheduling stuff. 100% my fault, and I appreciate you guys being patient. Lamont has been on the show before, yep. But Kia is new. So welcome. So I'm excited to talk about what the t-shirt stands for, the crown, but it's always good if people can get to know who you are. So we'll start ladies first. Kia, give us a little background on you.
Hello everyone. Again, thank you Ted for inviting me, having me here. I am truly excited. My name is Kia Wells Urso. I am a Floridian from Jacksonville, Florida. I have been an entrepreneur now going on about 10 years, close to 10 years. So that is very exciting. I am a mother. I have a set of twin boys that are 23. I also have a 16-year-old. And of course, when our children become grown, they are still asking for gas money. They're still Cash App, and they're working jobs on their own.
I'm aware.
As far as my entrepreneur experience, I started out creating a laundry service where I made a service convenient for people who wasn't able to go out and do their laundry. And back in 2015, I saw a commercial. It was exactly around 2 a.m. And I wanted to do something different for entrepreneurs because I was once that person to where I knew I wanted to become an entrepreneur totally, but I didn't know the how. So that's where the idea came in. 3 o'clock in the morning, it was actually a Miss America pageant commercial. And I said, that's it.
So tell me though, you come up with the idea and then the implementing is usually what people have a hard time with. And we're gonna get to Lamont, I promise I'm not gonna forget Lamont. But people get an idea and then they don't take it to the next level. They don't take it to fruition. So what was the impetus for you? What happened where you go, all right, this is a great idea. And now, did you have the resources already in place? What was the path and the process you went through in order for you to make that business work?
Well, when I thought of the idea, I was talking to myself saying, Kia, this is crazy. Because I didn't have any resources. I had no idea how to implement a showcase. My first question was, where am I going to find these people? So what I did is sat dormant for about 5 months. I had the idea, but I didn't know the how. So I decided to start networking. I need to connect with people. And once I started networking and sharing with others about what I wanted to do and the vision, that's when everything started. So in 2015, I had the idea. In 2016, I started the showcase, and then 2017 was the first pageant. So originally, it was called the Women in Business Pageant. It started out with 8 women. It took place in July in Clearwater, Florida, with 8 women. I had a young man that was like, Kia, if you do this for the men, I would love to participate. So I rebranded into the Men and Women in Business Showcase.
Love it. And and then Lamont, I promise you're next. Well, actually, let me get to Lamont because I want to talk about the showcase itself and really get to the nitty-gritty of the details. So we're going to get back to the Men and Women in Business Showcase in a minute. But we also want to introduce Lamonte Gwynn, who is the photographer guru. He's an amazingly talented photographer. He's got a fantastic story. But I'll let you tell little bits and pieces of that instead of me doing it for you. Welcome, Lamont.
Thank you. Again, my name is Lamonte Gwynn, and thanks again, Ted, for having us on the show. So I'm originally from Baltimore. I moved to Orlando in 2017. Grew up in Baltimore, moved to New York, lived in New York for about 13 years, moved back to Baltimore to take care of my mom. Well, originally to take care of my dad, who passed away, and then to take care of my mom, who finally passed away in 2016 from pancreatic cancer. In the process, I found photography, or photography found me. And when I first started, I really knew that my photography wasn't good at all. I knew that it was really bad, and I wanted to improve. So what I did is I finally went to a workshop in New York where I paid a photographer one of his workshops, and it completely changed who I was as a photographer. And I really began to understand lighting and how to think in light. But then when I came back to Baltimore and started applying what I learned at the workshop, I could see a change in my photography. I could see how beautiful it was, but for me, something was missing. And in that frustration, plus of doing weddings, events, baby, just doing every type of photography, I eventually decided I was going to shut my business down. And in that, I remember the day I was sitting with my mom, and I was just sobbing, saying, you know, I don't really want to give this up. So that little voice inside of me said, instead of giving it up, figure out what you want, what you love to do, and relaunch and rebrand. So that's what I did. I rebranded my business, I relaunched my business, and in 2016, I really began to focus on headshot and portrait photography. And for me, I then learned that it was something much deeper than just taking a photo of people, and that's where my brand, the Expression Coach, was born. And so that's kind of my story. And then in 2018, at the end of 2017, I moved down here to Orlando, Florida, moved my business here, and I've been working ever since.
He's a fantastic photographer,
Yes.
by the way.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. And his story, you can check out his story. You can listen to some of it on the YouTube channel. I think we even have some of it up on tedscommunity.com. But yeah, Lamont's incredibly talented. Now I have to ask, how did you two get together? How did you meet? I know you're not brother and sister, so don't ask that question. Not that we could see it right now. But how did you two come together? Just tell me the story.
I think Lamont can answer that.
Okay, so what happened was I was on Facebook, and I received did I receive a message from you? No. I was on Facebook, and I saw something about the competition, and when I saw it, immediately all bells and whistles went off, like, this is a great idea. How come nobody's doing this anywhere? This is a perfect idea. So I reached out to Kia, and I said, listen, I want to be a part of this competition. How can I join it? And when she started to explain what the process was and everything that would happen in the showcase, I just fell in love with the idea. I was like, you know, this is a competition that I need to be a part of. And at the time, I had no idea how I was going to get to Clearwater. I had no idea how I was going to pay for my admission into the competition. But through all of it, you know, here I am now.
So tell me about the competition. So I interrupted you to give Lamont's story. So Kia, tell us a little bit. I mean, any competition that has a crown in it, I'm super excited about, and that crown's awesome. So tell us about the competition itself. What happens, what goes on? People apply, obviously.
Sure. What the competition is, it is a journey. It's about an 8 to 10 month journey. So what happens is you have to be a business owner. If you have a business or you have a desire to start a business, we welcome you. We go through about 3 to 4 months of business coaching, business training. We have a certified business coach, Regina Breed. She lives in Atlanta, and she does pretty much 100% of the coaching. So we help you at the level you are currently within your business. We give you homework, accountability, events, just 100% accountability. We check on you. Make sure that you're okay. If you're having issues in marketing, social media, establishing your business, getting your EIN number, we go through all of those things with you. Then after that, around February, March, then we prepare for the competition. If you take Shark Tank and you take Miss America, that's what the competition is.
I love it. That's
to give you an example, just like you see a regular pageant, they have an opening number. The contestants do an opening number. The first segment, they have 3 minutes to showcase their business on stage, in front of judges, in front of the audience. After that, they have, the next segment is an on-stage question. After that, the final segment is formal wear. So the way the showcase is strategized is to help you within your own personal business. For the formal wear, as a business owner, you will need to go to a red carpet event or a gala or a banquet. What is that image for you? What does that look like?
Right.
If you're the second segment, you are to dress in your business attire. If you're going to the bank and say, hey, I need 100K to fund my business, what is that image? What does that look like? Because you can't walk in the bank in jeans and t-shirts and you're asking them for a large amount of money. The showcase, the 3 minutes, that gives the contestants an opportunity to showcase what their business is. People need to know what you do, why you do it within those 3 minutes. They're crowned. It's 2 winners. The first elite winner, which is the person with the highest points, and the first winner up is the person with the second to highest points. They receive a crown, as you can see, Lamonte has, but it's a very long journey. It's not for everybody. You have to really be mentally ready to move forward and be ready to be a business owner. If you make that decision, that's what the showcase prepares you for. So it's business, but we have a lot of fun.
Have you been surprised by people's ideas for businesses? Like Lamonte's photography, expression coach, I love that, right? It's creative. Have you had anybody come in and you're like, whoa, this is a lot more work than I can do in 8 months? I wonder, because I think people have, I always like creativity, right? Which are about that, right? You want people to come in, you really want to get them. You want the people who are serious about, once you get to an EIN number, you're serious about getting your business off the ground. So has there been anyone who surprised you? Are there businesses that you're like, wow, that's so interesting, but it's not a fit? Because I think people have ideas. I feel like this is a very a wonderful think tank way of getting you from your original thought to actually implementing and opening your business if you want it to be that way, or growing it. So anything crazy that's happened, anybody who's come in that you're allowed to talk about? I always like the crazy stories because I want to encourage people. Like, don't think your idea is too off the wall. If you have the dream and the wherewithal and you hook up with the right people, then you might be able to get that dream off the ground.
Well, the thing is, Ted, I haven't really had a lot of crazy, funny stories, but what will happen when they come in and they see the coaching, because the coaching is very hard, is tough. Regina Breed, she will get to the root of who you are. They would just release themselves.
So the coaching, I love that. All right, so the coaching part, that's really where they're having to face the issues that might have challenged them in becoming an entrepreneur. And because what you want to do, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but what I think you want to do is you want to weed out people who just don't have, they just don't have that. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them. It's just that they aren't on the entrepreneurial path. Because it takes a lot. You have to have thick skin. You have to figure out things, pull from resources you never dreamed you'd have to pull from as a business owner. So she gets into the nitty gritty.
Yes.
I love that.
I can tell you that when I had my initial call with Regina, it was a hard call to have, because as an entrepreneur, you think that you're doing everything the right way. But when you hear someone tell you, well, you need to look at this from a different perspective, or you need to go down a different path, you think, wait a minute, you're messing up my whole plan here. But a lot of times what happens is we have all these ideas around what we want to do, but they're not really organized. So what Regina helped us to do was organize them. Like, I didn't have a mission and vision vision statement for my business until I went through this experience. And now, knowing my mission and vision, I know where my business is headed. I know exactly my clients, who I am focusing on for business, because I know where my business is going. And a lot of times, folks, even that part of it was such a learning experience. And then the coaching calls, where we had the conference calls, everybody practiced their mission and vision statements together, and we made them stronger, and we gave comments about where it was lacking and how it can be strong. It was just a great experience.
I love that. I think it's important too that when you're going to invest, like let's say you're taking a leap from a corporate job and you want to open a business, you have to be in a serious mindset. And it sounds like Regina gets you there. And if she doesn't get you there, then you need to probably rethink, make sure you don't give up your day job. And that's okay. I think people get so hung up on, well, I guess I'm not worthy because I don't have an entrepreneurial spirit. Listen, it is blood, sweat, and tears, people, when you own a business, when you are the sole provider for that business, and then everybody's counting on you. This isn't just, and then you've got all sorts of things you have to deal with, business taxes. I mean, just the things that you have to do and file and be in touch with. It's completely different than getting that paycheck every 2 weeks, getting your 2 to 3 weeks vacation if you're so lucky, and not worrying about stuff once you leave the office. All right, so what do you want to do? What is the goal with this? Is it to not just foster and build up entrepreneurs? Is it also to help them get out and get business? So once you get the crown, like Lamonte gets a crown, then what?
Well, what I want to do and what has been done, we try to readjust the mindsets of the entrepreneurs. One thing we tell them, we give you the advice, we give you the resources, but at the end of the day, it's up to you because it's your business. It's not my business. It's up to you if you're going to take the information that has been provided. Now, if you're not moving forward, that's not my fault. That's not Regina's fault. That blames falls on that business owner. So I have a passion, even with Lamonte. I see the changes that has taken place in him, as well as a lot of the other contestants that have participated. Even after the showcase, we're still in touch with them. We're still calling. We're still making sure, hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? And ultimately, I want to take the showcase outside of Florida. I feel that there are a lot of business owners out there that can take advantage of this opportunity because it's a big family. It's a family. You're learning, you're networking, you're having fun, and you're part of a competition that will literally take your business to the next level. However, it's up to you. So I want this TED to go outside of Florida. I want it to go to New York. I would love for it to go to North Carolina, Virginia. So we're going into year number 4, and it's been hard. It's been rough. People have to understand the showcase is my business. So I have to go out and find people and persuade them on why they need to invest their money into the showcase so that I can have a showcase. So it's not easy, but my plan, my vision is to take this thing around the world.
I love it. I think something you just said is so important for people to understand. So Kia is not Kia Rockefeller, right? So she's not just doling out checks and she sits up here at the Citrus Club on the 18th floor and has cocktails all day. This is her business. So the showcase is her business. This is what she's trying to provide you as an entrepreneur is exactly what she's practicing on a daily basis. The struggles, the triumphs, the challenges. And so it is not an easy path. No entrepreneur I've ever met says to me, that was the easiest thing I've ever done. It's not the easiest thing because we are so conditioned to be employees, robotic. Like I said earlier, you want that paycheck every 2 weeks. Gotta get that paycheck every 2 weeks. And if that is the only way, I call those people worker bees. If that is the way that you think, that is perfect for you. We need worker bees. We need people with that thought process. And they have a contentment level that is not my contentment level or yours or Lamonte's. We have entrepreneurial things that we want to do. We want to grow. We want to be bigger than a paycheck. But you are also in it. You're in the throes of it. So when you're talking to them, when you're helping them, you have experienced it. You have done it. Now, did you go through this with your laundry, back to your laundry business, right? So you had this idea. Did you develop that further, or was that just a stepping stone for you?
I actually revamped, and I have started back up my laundry service.
Very cool.
It wasn't in my intentions. I was actually telling Lamont earlier that my phone, I've had the same phone number for over 20 years, and I'm still listed in Google, and people have been calling. So I'm a firm believer. Multiple streams of income.
Yes.
Never deny an opportunity to have other means of income. So this is another stream of income for me. I enjoy it. I've been able to obtain contracts with major organizations providing linen service as far as washing and drying them and folding them. So it's a stream of income that I enjoy, of course, because it's more money for me. And something you said, Ted, I had a young lady ask me this question yesterday, and she said, Miss Kia, what is the number one, if you had to sum it up on what I needed to do, what it would take for me to be an entrepreneur, what word would you tell me? And the word that I told her was, you have to be a risk taker.
Risk taker, absolutely. I
You
think
have to be a risk taker.
because here's the deal. This goes back to the worker bee thing. If you are risk averse, meaning you don't like risk at all, entrepreneurship is just not for you. It's just not a good place for you to be. I have friends who went to college, they became CPAs and accountants, and that is everything's streamlined, everything's in its place. You got your own compartment, you're done, you probably make good money, but you cap unless you're owning that CPA firm. You're a great worker bee. But if you want to own your own business, you want to have your own CPA firm, for lack of a better word. You want to have your own laundry service, which somebody like me, and in this day and age, that is such an attractive thing for people, because people want to have more free time and less work time. And when I think of laundry, I think of work. Even though my wife does the majority of it, I still think of it because I see it not folded, and that's the worst. But I think it's so important. You have to figure out what you want to do, and risk taker is so important. Did you guys grow up, because both of you are entrepreneurs, did you grow up in an environment where risk taking was the norm, or is that something that was just in you?
For me, it just was in me, because right now, as far as my immediate family, I'm the only entrepreneur. So sometimes my family think I am the strangest person on earth, because even my mom sometimes, Kia, you're always running, you're always traveling, you're here, you're there. But my words to my family and friends, I would rather work hard now so that I can relax later.
Right.
For me, I grew up in Baltimore. My grandfather owned an oil delivery service. So, and he was one of the top oil delivery services in Baltimore. So all of my aunts and my cousins, we all worked with my grandfather down at what we call the shop. And I would pull the hose. And so he instilled in us entrepreneurship at a very young age. So in my family, there's someone who owns a car dealership. I have a cousin that owns a hair salon, a construction company. My sister at one time owned her own electrical services company. So, entrepreneur is like a thread that runs through our family. So when I said I wanted to start my own photography business, it was like, okay.
They got it. Right. And I came from the same background as Kia. Like my family would always say, well, don't you just want a really nice office job? What? No, I don't want an office job, ever. But there were no entrepreneurial people in my immediate family. And I think sometimes you either grow up around it, which influences you, or you just have that spark. And it doesn't matter how it comes. If you've got it, you're never going to be satisfied being an office worker. I can tell you that right now. You're never going to be satisfied being a worker bee. And so if that thing is in you, if that fire and spark is in you, you want to reach out to Lamont, you want to reach out to Kia, you want to learn more, because that's the whole thing. In this day and age, especially in the digital world, there are so many opportunities for people to get their businesses out in ways that are not as expensive as they used to be when everything was snail mail and you paid for TV advertising. And I used to pay tons of money for phone book advertising.
Yes.
The insanity I used to do as an entrepreneur. All right, so We're going to share all of Kia's contact information, all of Lamonte's contact information, how you can learn more about Men and Women Business Showcase, Men and Women in Business Showcase. I had to remember the I for a second. Because I think that there are a lot of people out there that will watch the show or are watching the show and they're like, okay, that sounds fascinating to me. I have an idea. All right, so we always end the show. We're big on mentorship for the TED Show and TED's community. And I didn't prep you for this. I usually do, but I forgot. It's all about transparency here. But mentors are such an important thing. I feel like we have a desperate need for more mentors in our community. And so what I love for the guests to do is give a shout out to a mentor, to somebody who helped you along the way. Could be family, could be somebody who saw something in you that nobody else saw, could be a partner in business, could be your kids. I've had people talk about their kids before. So we'll start with Kia and tell us, give a shout out, a public shout out to somebody who's mentored you along the way.
I would like to give a public shout out to Regina Breed, because that young lady, she's my friend, but she's also my coach, and she pushes me even when I want to give up. There are times I've wanted to give up on the showcase because I'm having a hard time getting people in or getting people to be committed, because it takes a very strong commitment to be a part of the showcase. So Regina Breed, she pushes me. I'm angry at her a lot of times, because sometimes we don't want to hear the truth.
No, we don't.
We don't want to hear the truth, but I do want to say, Regina Breed, and I'm sure she's watching, thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me and being part of the showcase the way that you are. And also a few other people, Lamont. And I say Lamont because when I look at him, when I look at Ricky, Bernie, when I look at Lee Oliver, when I look at Pearl, when I look at Johanna, when I see their lives that have changed throughout this journey, Andreas Mackey, they are the reason why I'm in business still as of now.
I love it.
Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right, how about you, Lamont?
I've been sitting here thinking, who do I say? And it's really difficult because along my journey have been so many people that if I just said one name, it would leave out so many other individuals that have really, every experience that I've had, even with you, Ted, with
Claude.
With Claude.
I was going to say Claude or Donna.
With Maury, with Umar in Baltimore, with Trish Murphy, who was my first client here in Orlando, with Kia, with all these individuals, and the list just goes on. I have a friend of mine in New York named Michael, who I could pick up the phone at any time, and if I have an issue, he's there for me. So I've had so many people along the way who have just been there. So I think I named them kind of.
I love it. You did. Well, the point of that exercise is we want people to, first of all, gratitude. I'm a big believer. I don't know if you guys are, whatever your faith is, you put it out in the world. You got to show gratitude. And so a lot of times we don't say it out loud to our mentors. We don't say it. There could be a third grade teacher. I had somebody come on and start bawling on the show when they mentioned their third grade teacher. So just get in the habit of thanking people. And so this is just a quick little platform to be able to do that. It's good for the soul. It's really good for the soul. All right, so Kia Wells, Lamonte Gwynn, Teresa. No, it's totally fine. I said I might call. You're totally good. You're totally good. You guys are a joy to have on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we will make sure that all of their information is tagged in the right places. And if you can't find them, you can certainly reach out to me. You want to get in touch with them because what they're doing is so important. We have so many people who want to do something and they don't know what that next first step is. So thank you guys so much for what you do.
Thank you.
Thanks for wearing that crown. I want to steal that crown.
I know you want it. I know you want it. I know you want it.
I thought about wearing my own today, but I knew yours was much prettier and I was not going to do that. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being on. Mwah. See you back soon. Bye, guys.